Welcome everybody to another World of Tanks replay. My name is Maxwell and today's first replay is from the user Razor. That is Razor, and he's driving the FV4202 on a standard battle on live Orcs. FV4202 being a tier 10 medium tank for the British. So without being too spoilery, both of today's replays are going to feature fantastic defensive teamwork play. I'm going to show you how to protect your base when it looks like the chips are down and the battle is lost, how you can come out with the victory by providing a determined and well-coordinated defense. So straight away, Riz are going to be heading down the right-hand flank with the rest of the medium tanks. The heavies going to be heading into the city. Tank destroyers arranging themselves around the lake, all pretty standard. So Razor just going to head up to the ridgeline with his platoon mate, the T62A, who nicely makes a little bit of room for Razor. He's got the gun depression to be able to shoot from on the other side of the hill, unlike the T62A. Gets a nice bit of damage early on the Leopard 1. Moves forward into position. Just make sure that the bush is still going to provide cover even if he fires. Obviously when it turns from transparent to opaque, that means that the bush will still provide cover if you fire. Nobody else peeking their heads up except this Leopard 1 here. He takes a huge amount of fire from everybody and he goes down to the FV183. And the rest of the medium tanks move forward. T62A leading the charge. Razor not far behind in his FV. Looks like they're going to have to push fairly quickly though. As you can see, the city is kind of overrun with enemy tanks here. Allies got nowhere near enough forces to be able to win that battle unless something very, very lucky happens. There is a Waffenträger here. Razor should easily be able to get some damage on him, which indeed he does. Waffenträger decides to trade shots rather than falling immediately back. He does fall back, but he falls back on the wrong side of the train tracks and he gets taken out. And now it's going to be a case of pushing on even further. See a T54 flanking through on that right-hand side. City still not looking particularly safe there. They've got 2 heavy tanks and a tank destroyer in there, along with the 8 or 9 tanks from the enemy team. This one is even, only 2 kills apiece on either side. Going to have a look to see if they can take out the artillery here, but nobody really showing up. There we go. There is the Conqueror gun carrier. If he can be taken out of the battle, that'll be a huge, huge move for the Allied team. Taking out one of the most overpowered pieces of artillery in the game. And with him dead, they can breathe a little bit easier now. Going to move forward around past the factory here. They do still have tank destroyers on the ridge line there, but as you can see, because they've won the city so handily, they've actually pushed down off the ridge now, and they were last spotted making a move across that open field, so they may not find... Nope, it looks like they've retaken the hill, or they were just quite far down the hill. Gets a nice shot on the Object 268. He's actually spun himself all the way around because he knows the allies are coming from that direction. Tries to get another shot on his drive wheel, which he does, and takes out his track. He repairs and just manages to back off before anybody gets any extra damage on him. He has lost over 1,000 hit points though. He's going to have to decide whether he wants to retake the hill or wants to push on with his allies through the town. To be honest, their best bet is just to wait out the allies here, find out what they are going to do. Most of them look like they are hiding. Well, not exactly hiding, but just taking their time around the center here. And you can see a huge contingent of enemy tanks making a move for the Allied base. At least 4 of them in there. They've got a couple of tank destroyers back there, but they're not going to be able to do very much work. There's a Waffenträger Panzer IV and Object 263. If the 263 can get hulled down, he can be quite difficult to shift, as he does have very decent armor. But it's going to be up to Razor to try and track back and see if he can do something about a base capture, which is inevitably coming, although it hasn't started quite yet. Looks like they may be doing some artillery hunting of their own, so Razor's got a little bit of time, decides to lay down some fire and try and help his allied T-54, who has now fallen. finds the Waffenträger E100, one of the most dangerous tank destroyers that there is. Gets a lovely shot onto that Conqueror. He's pretty sure he's been spotted, so he falls back behind the train tracks here. Just uses his gun depression. Going to try and get a shot through the side of the Conqueror. He does indeed. Picks up kill number 2 now. There's a 121 dueling on the ridge. The Death Star's coming around on his right-hand side. He's started to take fire now. He's taken out the 121. Really didn't need to put himself in that much danger, though, as Razor had him dead to rights. But 183 getting the killing blow there. Some of the tanks have pushed forward now. It looks like rather than go for the base capture, they're going for the kill all. They are only winning by 1 kill, though, and there's a T62A and an FV4202 lying in wait for them, although most of them do have quite high hit points. They are focusing now on the Object 263. Razor didn't quite get any damage there. Going to see if he can get a hit on this Patton. It's a lovely shot through his underbelly. He is quite well hidden here, so I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't actually get spotted there firing, as he does have plenty of bushes between himself and this Patton. The Object 263 is giving no dams whatsoever. He's charging right forward. One more good shot on this Patton will be enough to take him out. Take him out he does for kill number 3. There's a T110 E5 in the background. He's only a couple of shots from death, so if this Object 263 can land some damage onto him, Razor might be able to finish him off, but I think the 263 just missed his shot there. Going to try and get a hit on the T110, but the Object 263 just moves up front. Going to try and focus down on that cupola there. Not quite able to get any damage on it. Looks like the Object 263 has his number, though. As Razor fails to penetrate his shot again. Object 263 gets taken out by the Object 261. Artillery coming into play, focusing on the lower plate. Unfortunately, the lower plate was at such an angle there that that one bounced as well, but the T62A platoon mate is in for the backup. They take him out before he's able to get too close and do much at all. E100 in the lake. He's got about 1,500 hit points. Looks like Razor hasn't been spotted now. And he gets taken out by a beautiful shot from the FV215B. 183 for all of his hit points. 1,593, I'm pretty sure that was. So a fantastic shot from him. They've still got 2 tank destroyers in and around the enemy base. And it looks like the contingent that came from the city to try and cap the allied base have all been dealt with now. Their T-30's on full hit points. There, 183, if we just take a quick look, has 1,500 hit points. They're going to head in towards the enemy base. That T-57 Heavy, still camping in exactly the same spot he was in. If he'd flanked around maybe and tried to help these guys in the north, that might have been a different outcome. But as it is, he just camped on H1. As it is, he did manage to take out the T-30 from full health to nothing. And we're just going to speed this one up a little bit until we get back into the action. Going to try and find him. The T-62A and the FV, all trying to find it. It's all pretty much platoon 1 that's left here with the artillery. T-62A goes in for a scout. FV's getting taken out by the Waffenträger E100. And it was 3 or 4 shots. So they're going to have to play it careful now. Unfortunately, they can't charge in and take out the Waffenträger as he has way too much backup. And they're going to have to drop back and just try and cover off the base. And again, we're just in fast forward until we get back into the action. As you can see, just getting into defensive positions. The T-62A hanging back there on the high ridge line, because he doesn't have the gun depression, where the FV4202 has much better gun depression, so he takes to the further north position where the hill is a hell of a lot steeper. He's going to try and spot them coming in, and hopefully the T-62A and the Object 261 artillery will be able to get hits on them. Not spotting anybody out just yet, but I'm not sure if he had 6th sense, so don't know if he's been spotted himself. Still nobody getting lit up here. There we go. His 6th sense goes off, so he knows he's been spotted. Got to play it carefully, though, as the enemy Object 261 is still very much alive and has 2 kills, so knows what he's doing. Somebody is in around this area. He's been spotted, so you can assume that the enemy tanks will be making a beeline for this position. Hopefully with the concentrated fire, the quick firing of the medium tanks and the high alpha of the artillery, they may be able to take the guys out before they get in. Getting flanked on all sides at exactly the same time here. Best thing that the enemy team could do. First bit of damage that Razor's taken now. Second shot from the Waffenträger misses. He takes up cover behind the T110 E5. He's going to focus down on the Waffenträger E100. And that shot missed, but it may have been aimed at the T62A. We are not sure, considering that Razor is in hard cover here. Gets another great shot on the Waffenträger E100. He's getting damaging shot after damaging shot. Waffenträger decides to come forward, trying to get an angle on a shot on Razor. As it is, he's not quite able to just yet. One more shot. Got to wait for his gun to reload. Reload it does. Takes him out for kill number 4. Object T57 Heavy and the Object 268 dies in the south, taken out by the T62A. Gets a lovely shot on the Object 261. That just leaves himself and the Jagdtiger. Jagdtiger is further to the north, focusing on the T62A. Didn't get any damage there, and he's on full hit points. One more shot on the 261 will be enough. Just gets a critical. Jagdtiger decides not to try and focus on the FV, as he doesn't have the traverse speed. Instead, he's locked on the T62A. He gets a huge bit of damage from the Object 261. A few more shots, and this will be all she wrote for the Jagdtiger. There's nothing he can do here. He made the wrong choice. He's paying the price. That's GG and the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there from Razor, putting up an absolutely stellar defense to take out the enemy tanks as they came in to try and take them on. Picking up a total of 5 kills and a total of almost 7,000 points of damage. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant replay. So don't forget to stick around, because as always there is another replay coming right up. And our second replay today is from the user Pave. That is Pave, and he's driving the E50M on a standard battle on Lakeville. E50M being a tier 10 medium tank for the Germans. And as I said in the previous replay, this is also going to be a fantastic defense put up by the platoon here in the medium tanks, and they're going to show you what you can do with great positioning, great teamwork, and when you take the initiative and move at exactly the right time. Spot a lot of the enemy tanks making a move towards the city here. Gets 2 nice shots, one on an IS-3, one on a T-34. The other IS-3 looks like he wants to hang around and take a little bit more damage. Not satisfied with only losing 400 hit points. Wants to lose a few more by the looks of it. He takes up cover behind the rock. Unfortunately for him, he is continuously spotted. Pave aimed to put a shot through his roof, but he faded away just before he fired. And that one just harmlessly bounced against the rock there. Gonna wait for his reload. He still has the rear armor. He gets tracked, gets set on fire, and he gets taken out early on there. Kill number 1 for Pave. And he's got his ally in the Leopard 1 did the spotting, and they get some great damage on people here. We've got a late... What is that? That's an ST1 making a move. He decides to repair his tracks a little bit late here. Pave going to get another shot on his side. Looks like that one may have missed. It just dropped a little bit low as he faded away. Pave going to try maybe and get a little bit of the high ground here. See if he can get a shot on anybody else as they make a move. He's moving up the hill here. Going to try and lay some fire down into the city on the left-hand flank there. That looks fairly even, that battle over there. Enemy team neglecting the central road just a little bit. That ST1's making a little bit more of a move into the city. He was open, but didn't quite have the angle to be able to get a shot on him there. Looks like he's not going to get any damage on anybody. I'm going to try and offer some support to their allies. See if they can get any angles on the guys in the city. Looks like not. Going to advance forward to try and use some of the streets to their advantage. Not quite able to get anything on anybody. Can just about see through the building there. Has a shot, but that one didn't quite land. And it's looking more and more increasingly like they're not going to be able to help out the guys on the right hand flank in the city there. But as you can see, they are in serious trouble on the left-hand flank. The last guy, that E75, has now fallen. Pretty sure that was an E75. And it looks like Pave and his platoon mate are going to have to drop back now. In an effort to try and defend against, what is that, 4 tanks? At least 4 tanks making a move towards the base. You can see the Leopard 1 cutting a wide angle around the right-hand side there. He's going to try and lay some fire down from a distance as Pave spots them coming in. That's definitely the best thing to do with the Leopard 1. It hasn't got the armor to be able to bounce any shots. It's much better as a sniper. Whereas the E50 does have armor, gets a lovely shot on the IS-8 as he comes in. That one just harmlessly gets absorbed by his track, and the IS-8 decides to drop back after taking 2 hits, one from the Leopard 1, one from the E50M. I don't think the Leopard 1's taken any fire either. They're going to continue to come forward. They've got the IS-8 and the IS-3 spotted. Nobody else making a move in here just yet. Got one shot at the IS-8. That one just flew over his head though. IS-7's pretty low on health here, so if the 2 of them focus down on him, they may be able to take him out. That's a lovely shot on the IS-7 to leave him with just 61 hit points. It looks like the Leopard 1 doesn't quite have any angles on these guys yet. Pave comes forward just to take him out. And still 4 of them left, so this was actually 5 tanks. Going to try and get a shot on the IS-8, but doesn't quite have the gun depression. Going to look at getting a shot on his commander's hatch there. But that's a very, very difficult shot to land, so elects to go for the T-28 prototype there. Showing some very good fire discipline, not just loosing a shot at that commander's hatch when he had one, knowing that it wouldn't quite do any damage. And that one, unfortunately, just hits the dirt rather than the T-32. T-32 has his shot and that one bounces, so he's going to be able just to plant one straight through his front plate. The Leopard 1 still putting fire down on the location as well. I'm going to focus in on the T-28 prototype. Unfortunately, the Leopard 1 takes him out instead. A little bit of miscommunication from the allies there. Not quite landing another shot on the T-32. There are still 3 tanks here, although they're all a little bit low on health, and they're all backing off a little bit scared now. Leopard 1 making his approach. Still trying to get a shot on this IS-8. That one didn't quite go through his turret, which is pretty damn tough. Leopard 1's going to be flanking around the north here and going to try and get them in a crossfire. Unfortunately, he takes concentrated fire from everybody. Not sure if he lost any hit points. He did indeed as he came in, but now Pave's got the side armor of this IS-8. Takes him out. Looks like the Leopard 1 actually sniped that one away before Pave was able to get it. IS-3 focusing on the Leopard 1 there. Gets a tracking shot on him. Unfortunately, not quite any damage. IS-3 has a shot at the Leopard 1. Not sure if it did anything. That one did some damage, though. Now it's going to be a case of the 2 of them trying to close down this IS-3 and deal with the situation as quickly as possible, as they are currently losing this game 10 kills to 11. It's pretty even on that right-hand side. Just letting his gun focus in. That one just about bounces on the turret here. The Leopard 1 is flanking around from the right-hand side, though. This IS-3 is going to have nowhere to run to. He takes a shot through his rear. Leopard 1 gets another hit. Pave's going to try and get one through the side of the turret. He did indeed. That's kill number 4. Allies on the right-hand flank should have the best of that fight, hopefully. That is an IS-4 and a T-54 versus an IS-3 and a Tiger 2, so actually maybe not. IS-4 should just be able to laugh at both of those tanks, so this one might not go particularly well for the Allies. Jagdpanzer E100 was last spotted in H4. He's probably still in H4, considering the heavy tanks have pushed all the way through there. And they're going to come in and... oh, nope, surprise. Jagdpanzer E100 is on the road. Pave takes a massive shot through his front armor, takes out his track, but it looks like the Jagdpanzer E100 used his repair kit. Going to try and focus in to take his other track out. Spends a little bit of time aiming, takes out that track. And that one is going to be GG and all she wrote for the Jagdpanzer E100. He's got a very, very high repair skill, though. As you can see, it's faster than the reload speed of the E50M, so he takes no chances, comes in and hugs him, making sure that the E100's not going to be able to turn any direction. He gets taken out. Now that leaves the IS-4 T-54 and the Lerva against these 2 medium tanks. Both of them not looking very healthy at the moment, though. Only 400 and 500 hit points, respectively. Not quite sure which direction they... Well, we are quite sure which direction they're going to come from. They're all going to come from that right-hand flank, as that's the last place they were spotted. So it's just going to be a case of lying in wait for them, taking up cover behind the bushes. Just wants to give themselves some distance between the bushes and where they're going to be firing to make sure they can retain as much of that camo as they can. T54 has been spotted. He only has, what is that, 87 hit points. So that's just going to be a one-shot. Last time he was seen, the IS-4 had almost 2,000 and the Lerva had 1,100. So although they're saying in chat this is going to be an easy win, it may not be the case, considering the IS-4 does have 2,000 hit points and themselves only have 400 and 500 hit points. Does spot the Lerva. He does have 1,100 hit points, but he's way out in the open, and there's no way he's going to be able to return fire as he's making a move. He's kind of been caught out in no man's land here, and there's no real good decisions he can make at the moment. His track gets taken out. He has faded away thanks to the fact that he has now stopped moving, but they know exactly where he was. Pave keeps firing. He takes him out for kill number 5. T54 still hanging around on that left-hand side. Got to be careful though, as the IS-4 is pushing straight up the centre. Gets a lovely tracking shot, but didn't quite do any damage to the IS-4. Got to be careful now, as this T54 is probably using this opportunity to try and flank around the right-hand side as the IS-4 comes in. Unfortunately, he does only have 87 hit points. He gets spotted now. He did have a shot, as we heard that one hit the terrain. Pave going to try and focus him down, but he's just dropped back into cover quick enough. Leopard 1 makes a run for it. Pave's going to keep focusing on the location, as that T54 is going to think he is hidden now. One shot is all it takes. He gets taken out for a well-deserved Top Gun medal, and that just leaves this IS-4. If the IS-4 plays it smart and plays it carefully, he could easily come up with a win here, as he does have 2,000 hit points and supreme armor. Unfortunately for him, he gets one damaging shot through his face. Pave still got 500 hit points. That IS-4 not quite doing any damage. You can see the heat shells not doing too great against the spaced armor on the side of the IS-4. Looks like Pave is in serious trouble now. He's only got 100 hit points left. Got his attention, the IS-4's attention split now, and he's doing the smart... Well, he's not doing the smart thing. He's already got his rear armor pointed towards Pave, so he should have the rear of his turret pointed towards him as well, and keep himself fully focused on that Leopard 1. As it was, he split his attention, gave them both a weak spot, and he gets taken out. Pave picks up kill number 7 along with 7,000 points of damage. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that into replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. And if you just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. But don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks Replays, and I'll catch you guys next time.